You are listening to the Daily Gospel Reflections with Sister Cloth. This podcast is brought to you by the Paulines Multimedia. It is our mission to bring the Word of God to all peoples through sounds and images, voices, and music. Come and join us as we share with you a thought a day. Our reading for today is lifted from the Gospel account of St. Matthew, chapter 13, verses 47 to 53. Jesus said to his disciples, "Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net that was thrown into the sea and caught fish of every kind. When it was full, they drew it ashore, sat down, and put the good into baskets, but threw out the bad. So it will be at the end of age. The angels will come out and separate the evil from the righteous, and throw them into the furnace of fire, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth." "Have you understood all this?" They answered, "Yes." And he said to them, "Therefore, every scribe who has been trained for the kingdom of heaven is like the master of a household who brings out of his treasure what is new and what is old." When Jesus had finished these parables, he left that place. I am greeting you all with peace and joy. Today we have another parable to describe how the kingdom of heaven resembles a dragnet. Jesus said, "Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a net that somebody throws into the sea and caught fish of every kind. When it was full, they drew it ashore, sat down, and put the good into baskets, but threw out the bad. The angels will come out and separate the evil from the righteous and throw them into the furnace of fire, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So it will be at the end of the age." Here, the end of the age refers to the end time and the last judgment, which holds an air of mystery and dread. No one can tell when the day of reckoning will be. All we know is it will surely come, whether or not we are ready for it, which is alarming. What if on that day the Lord finds us unworthy and pulls us out of the dragnet, and the angels will collect us and throw us into the furnace of fire? God forbid that this will happen to us. So today's parable urges us always to be ready to face God's judgment. A Catholic educator from the Abbey suggests a spiritual project to prepare ourselves for the final judgment. How do we do this? He says we must participate in the sacraments, the most important of which is the sacrament of baptism, which should come first. Then, as baptized Christians, we must live our baptismal promises, especially to promise God to resist all that draws us away from the love of God, and to receive Holy Communion, as this is the source of grace for us. To ensure that we stay in the state of grace, he says, we must go to confession often, especially if we are aware that we have committed a mortal sin. Then daily prayer is vital. Keep an intimate relationship with God by making Him a part of all we do. Talk to Him often, not only in times of need, but even in times of joys and sorrows. On top of this, God will judge us according to how we lived the two great commandments: love God above all things and love our neighbor as ourselves. loving our neighbors as St. Paul defines it. Love is patient. Love is kind. It is not jealous. It is not pompous. It is not verbose. It is not rude. It does not seek its interest. It is not quick-tempered. It does not brood over injury. It does not rejoice over wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. It bears all things, believes, hopes, and endures all things. Be with us again tomorrow as we share with you a thought a day. Meanwhile, you can follow us and listen to other Apple and Google podcasts on Spotify, produced by Paulines Multimedia. Have a good day.